Hello everyone and welcome back to the James Rambling Show, coming at you live on Friday night. Tonight's your host, James Bay.
This is episode 8 of the James Rambling Show. Here is your host, James, brought to you on YouTube. This has been going on for almost a month now, because I started doing this in like early January, and it's early February now, so essentially a month. So I know what you'd be thinking, like it's kind of strange that there's 8 episodes, but it's been a month. Well, I did say that, like, I didn't have a schedule and everything. So essentially, what that meant was, I had quite a few episodes where they felt like, pardon me, they felt daily, and then the other ones started to become weekly. So then that made 8. That's making it 8 episodes, instead of 4. Instead of if this was 8 episodes long, this podcast would be into March now. But seeing as that whole daily thing became a thing at the start, it's really kind of just shaped it in a different way. So yeah, it was my first day back at school today, starting year 12. Doing different subjects, meeting different teachers, doing different things like that, seeing friends again. It's really good to see friends actually, because because I've been at home for 3 months, so it was actually quite cool to actually see friends and socialize and actually touch some grass, boy. And so, you know, like, I don't think anyone would want to be in the house for that long, especially, since we're in this whole, we're all stuck inside and all of that. It was really good to see my friends again. It was also raining, which, I'm a Scottish guy, so you would, as a Scottish person, rain is like a given. Rain is literally majority of Scottish weather. There's also snow in the winter, of course. There's also hailstorms. There's all of that. But there's been a lot of rain. When I was back in Scotland, there was a lot of rain, and you know, it was really, I just got used to that sort of thing. So when I came to New Zealand in 2017 and it was sunny all the time, I was like, I don't get this. I don't get this. Why is it sunny all the time? Because I come from Scotland, a really cold place. It's really cold over there, and so my whole thinking was, I'm not used to this yet. But now, since I've been here for a long, almost, like about 5 years or something. Oh yeah, essentially I've been here for 5 years. Um, you know, sort of adapted to this weather. I've gotten into the groove of things. I've realised, I've realised what it's like, the weather is like. New Zealand is a different place, and it's really different to Scotland. There's different people. There's the history of it and all of that, Maori, and all the Maori traditions and all of that. Because I used to actually be interested in Maori stuff. I used to do kapahaka. That was something I was interested in 2018, at least 2018, 2017, 2018, and then I just gave up. And of course, during that time, I was also really into wrestling, which was, that was a interesting part of my life. I used to just watch wrestling. I used to actually make videos on that whole subject. I used to react to WWE videos, on the WWE YouTube channel. I used to do all of that. I used to make reactions, predictions, all of that. You know, your stereotypical sort of WWE channel. I would say I became a
Cringe.
reacting channel slash, you know, reporting channel. So yeah, and it was all very cheesy as well. I actually did make this compilation where I actually, you know, like I took sections of videos that of me on camera, whether that was a YouTube video or just a random video one my family members took. I just chopped all of that up, made a compilation, added some funny sound effects, you know, added some videos in there, like, you know, just to make it funnier. I sped it down because I thought that was actually a awesome idea because of how absolutely cringe that was. So doing that made it, you know, it made it actually better to make that into a compilation style video. You know, something, just a little side project that I worked on. You know, it didn't take that long. The video is only at least 5 minutes long at most, so it's an easy watch. You don't, you know. Yeah, and also I've been adding timestamps to the podcast episodes, so now I'm gonna start to add some timestamps and chapters if that chapter feature starts working on this channel or not. That whole chapter feature is like when you wanna, you know, especially with podcasting, there are topics where, you know, it can go on for a while, or you just want a specific thing, you just want to go to that specific thing, or it's just the point of, you know, showing you certain moments where you want to know about a certain topic in the you know, and I've got the best bits channel as well, which I should be shouting out more. The best bits channel, or the highlights channel, is where I post tiny clips of the podcast, and then I post to that channel, so that you have a little bit, you have best bits instead of, you know, just the 20-minute, 15-minute podcast that you usually receive from me, sometimes 10 minutes, depending on, you know, depending on how much topics I can go on about. So yeah, that's just a few things, and you know, we I'm still looking for some more guests as well. There's still that I've still got that in mind. You know, obviously still have the editing software stuff in mind. I've got all of that in mind. So I actually, you know, yeah, and of course we have this the usual pre-recording style, and I'm doing the premieres more now. I'm doing all that premiere. Oh yeah, one of my friends actually jokingly has been like Terminator, nerd, and all of that. Making me out to be some Scottish nerd out here. Nerd, 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 nerd. Terminator! Let's watch Terminator together! Let's go, Mum, yeah! Watch Terminator! Yeah, so yeah, there's that. It was interesting to say the least. I'm gonna give my thoughts on every subject now, just to give me something else, to talk about. So the first subject I had today was maths with statistics. So for anyone who doesn't know what statistics are, it's to do with you know, divvying up information about certain um, statistics within, like a population or whatever the case may be. So, you would find, and then you've got the box plots and all of that. So you find the median, the middle number, and all that sort of thing. So so it was quite easy to say the least. Then I had a double period of that. Um, I had classical studies, which is a Greek. For anyone who doesn't know, this is a subject in which you learn about older societies, the mythology behind those societies, the god, the Odyssey, which is a book, about Greek, that old, ancient society stuff. Right, and then after that, I had accounting, which is mathsy, but it's to do with like accounts for, all that accounts. It's got a lot of stuff. It's got a lot of math stuff, and it's got all of those, like those the tables and all that sort of thing. I also had English, which, as you can imagine, is English. So like punctuation,
English class
understanding a text, delivering a
vocabulary.
speech, stuff like that. And
Silver.
that whole the whole point of today was just introducing that, introducing all of that, and then getting into it a little bit, sort of thing. So yeah, and I'd say the English was the most awkward because I didn't know anyone, to be fair. I've heard of some of the names in the class, but I don't know everybody, and I sat with like three girls and a boy that I didn't know. I think I knew one of them from my history class last year, but I didn't know them all, so it was awkward, clearly. And we told like two truths and one lie and stuff. I just said I'm from Scotland. I have three sisters. Oh, I was just saying, I'm from Scotland. I have X amount of sisters, which in this case is three. It's not really important information, but it was just something. And then the lie was I speak two languages, because obviously I don't speak two languages. I only speak one, but I have learned, I've learned Russian and Japanese, and I started to learn Ukrainian a little bit, but then I just gave up because, with me, languages, are hard to get into for me, especially, because of, you know, like, because the school, I've got school, and there can be things on my mind, and, just language learning in general just takes a long, long time to get through, right? Because obviously, languages, you need to learn the grammar, structure, proper nouns, all of that. And obviously, there are certain languages people want to speak, and then there's people who speak 10 languages, which, congratulations, because Jesus, I probably could never do that in my lifetime. I only speak one language, which, as you can tell, is English. There's also Scottish Gaelic, which is, that's my Gaelic of my country, but I wouldn't say Gaelic is that popular in Scotland. I've never really been, like, especially since I never learnt about Gaelic. I never learnt about Gaelic at all, and you can make the joke about garlic. Yeah, you can make the joke about that. There's obviously Scottish Gaelic, but when it comes to the British Isles, I wouldn't say that, like, that there is that there's not Welsh Gaelic or English Gaelic, because Wales is just Welsh, English is just English, I think, and then obviously Scotland is Scottish Gaelic, and then Ireland is Irish Gaelic, and yeah, I mean, oh wait, there's Celtic as well. I think Celtic's a language. Yeah, I think Celtic's a language. I might get that wrong. Maybe it is. I've not really looked into Celtic stuff personally. I'm half Irish, and I've never really looked into this. Because there is some things I don't really know about my own country sometimes. And I don't really, because I don't really look into, I don't. I know about I know about I know where my country is, right? I know where Scotland is. It's Northern Europe, right? Northern Europe, all of that. And I must admit, I'm not the best at geography. And my friends who probably who are watching this podcast well know that surely, yeah, I am not the best at geography. So, yeah. Um, but yeah, back to the history thing. I know some Scottish history, like the freedom stuff, the freedom stuff that we are stereotypically known for. When obviously, I know I don't want to get into politics that much, but the Scottish government is not freedom. The whole freedom, 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 freedom. You will get your freedom today. No, no, it doesn't exist anymore, right? Because because the world has gone bonkers, and we wanna, we wanna take people out of an equation for offensive jokes and all this nonsense. But let's just shift the conversation, because that is just, oh, no one I actually don't I didn't ask for that. Honestly, that's just terrible. I don't care about it. Honestly, I'd rather watch a funny video or something, because I'm over that sort of stuff. But yeah, I just had to bring that up because it kind of relates to the subject. But yeah, back to Scottish history, right? I'm sake, man. This is a freaking rambling show, alright? This is a bloody rambling show, alright? So yeah, back to Scottish history. I know about the freedom stuff. I know about, the Battle of Falkirk and getting our land, trying to get our land back, but England actually won that. And that, England won the Battle of Falkirk, I should say. Unfortunately, I suppose, but it made sense, given that if you do the research, it does make sense. And we've also, in Scotland, I learnt about Scottish history. I know the Scottish anthem, of course. The Scottish anthem. Oh, flower of Scotland, will we see the light again? Or will we die for? Dude, I love Scotland. I'm proud of being there. But not gonna lie, being in New Zealand, I literally forgot the national anthem. you know, so it's a bit awkward that I don't remember that, right? Does the New Zealand anthem is interesting. Oh, I don't remember that either. Right, I know the Maori version. I just don't remember it all because we haven't actually seen a lot of rugby games lately. I haven't there's not a lot of rugby games that have taken place recently. So the national anthem stuff was just I'd never picked it up again. And speaking of sports, oh no, wait, sorry. Yeah, I have a watch that goes off at this time. I have a watch that goes off at this time, and uh, it's set to 11:25 or something. I don't know why I did that, anyways. So yeah, back to sports, sports in general. I used to be so into football because football was the thing in Scotland. It was the talk of the town. It was everything, right? So I was into that sort of thing. I grew out of it though, because when you go to a different country and you meet new people and you have there's different things they do here, because they don't really support or they don't really do football a lot here. It's mainly rugby. So I got into rugby a little bit, and I got kind of I suppose that I get patriotic about rugby, because there was this one time when I actually wanted Scotland to beat Japan, and I think Japan won that. But I don't remember it. It was, I don't know, 3, 4 years ago or something like that. I'm not a cricket person. I don't really into hockey because I'm not Canadian. Those Canadians, they only like hockey, ice hockey. I'm just joking. Just trying to make this I'm trying to make this funny. Oh, just like that, it's raining again. The best weather is the rain. The best weather is the rain. It's what I know. It's what I know. The rain is the best in the town. Dun 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 dun. Best in the town. Best in the town. Yeah, best in the town. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Dun 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 dun. My God. I'm sorry, this is just I'm just thinking about so many topics because I want to make you feel entertained. That's a show, it's a show, it's a show, it's a mother show, boy. So yeah, a lot of tangents right there, just freaking weather, school, history, all of that. So yeah, you know, I actually love doing this podcast now that I think about it because it gives me, it sort of gives me an outlet to speak my mind. I used like the other idea of my channel was like just making random video, any video really, just talking about whatever I want, which was, that was a good idea. Then too much of my knowledge, I decided to start a podcast where I would just ramble on and on and on and on. That's the whole point of the. But obviously, over time, I don't want to just keep this as the James Rambles On and On show because that was just what was that? I didn't even mean to change. Why did I even make that the name? But that just about does it, right? So yeah, as I can see, this is actually a longer episode, and you'll know why when it's uploaded. And I'm premiering it again. We're gonna have that whole premiere style. I love the premiere style because it gives people to watch something instantly. When it's premiering, you get the whole rambo jambo, the whole rambo jambo. You get the whole package. Rambo Jambo, the Rambo Jambo show, bala 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 boomba, Rambo Jambo show, right? Okay, see you next Friday for more podcasts. Goodbye, and enjoy tonight's episode when it premieres. Goodbye.